So today we're going to have a chat about dry eyes, corneal scarring and scleral lenses. So about 11 years ago, which was in 2014, I got quite severe dry eyes. Been on and off of them for a long time. You know, when it feels like there's something in your eye and you're constantly rubbing. Well, I constantly rubbed until there was nothing left. There was no protective layer left, and I just rubbed away at my eye and got corneal scarring. One day I woke up and I couldn't see. Everything was blurry. It was like somebody had just put a film across my eyes. Couldn't see anything. It was very difficult. It happened in both eyes. Fortunately, I recovered after seeing the doctor in my right eye, but my left eye was too far gone. No more vision in my left eye. But long story short, they said there was nothing they could do about it. So I just had constant appointments with doctors trying to treat what they call blepharitis, which means that I had an irritation of my eyelids and they weren't producing tears. So it was constant heat compress and manipulating sort of the glands to try and get oil out. Did this for 11 years. Constantly saying, is there anything you can do? I can't see out of one eye. No, nothing can be done, nothing can be done, nothing can be done. In 2026, I said, look, is there any experiments or anything that someone can do to help me with this? And he said, oh well, maybe we could look at getting a special lens that would protect your eye. I thought, well, you never mentioned this before, but okay, it might be something brand new. Turns out this thing was called a scleral lens. A little bit excited, something new, something different to try. 11 years, think about it. Saw the clinician who put a test lens on, and I almost burst out crying. I could see, and more than that, I could see better than my good eye out of my bad eye that have been around for a long, long time. So I'm a little bit annoyed and also a little bit grateful, very grateful. They have to be custom made, they have to fit the weird shape of your eye if you've had some kind of disease, or if you've rubbed away like me and your eye's a funny shape. It's not as round as it needs to be. This lens gets custom made to fit your weird eyes. So fortunately I had to have one. Basically what it does is it vaults over your cornea, touching the whites of your eye, and it's filled with liquid saline solution that acts like your cornea should do. So it's all smooth and fixes your vision problems. It's pretty much a miracle. It's a faff getting it in and out. I'll go through that. When I first tried it on in the clinic, it took over 10 attempts, but persevered. Very irritated the first time. I thought I'd never be able to get these damn things in. I was very nervous the first night because it was work the next day. I basically didn't sleep. I was thinking, I had so much anxiety over putting it in the morning and hoping that I would have enough time to put it in, not mess it up and be able to work. But I did. It actually took me 2 attempts the second day. I was quite happy about. And now it's almost every time I get it in fairly quickly. So again, I'll go through that process shortly. But I just thought if anyone out there has had a dry eye issue and had some kind of permanent damage to their eye and told there's nothing they can do about it, just know there is. Look up scleral lenses. They pretty much do exactly what they're supposed to do. Some people can't tolerate them, I've heard. I thought I'd be one of them because my eyes have no protection on them whatsoever, or one of my eyes has zero protection. But no, it ended up pretty good. My only way forward now though is thinking, well, do I need this for the rest of my life? Or is there a surgery option? I was told there was no surgery options, but since I was also told there was nothing else they could do, I looked it up myself and found there is surgery options. The surgeries are pretty much exclusively a no-no. Most people are wearing scleral lenses because of these surgeries, because even if they work initially, they end up making your eyes worse. So that's an option that I'm not willing to try for the sake of 5 minutes of discomfort in the morning and night. Some people can't tolerate the lens touching the whites of their eye. Now I must clarify that scleral lenses aren't like your typical normal contact lens. They're not soft. They're hard, rigid plastic. And if the thought of that, putting some hard plastic in your eye, puts you off, well, yeah, some people can't tolerate it. Like I say, I've got no protection on my left eye, but I seem to tolerate it fine, and there's a few tricks around that in order to make it more comfortable. But in general, my eye is much more comfortable with the lens in than without. It's constantly bathed throughout the day in this saline solution, so I don't have the dry eye problem. It also seems to have fixed the drooping problem I had, where because my eye wasn't focusing on anything throughout the day, it started having the telltale signs of lack of use. So the eye would start closing by itself because it's not focusing on anything, and that seems to have helped, along with eyelid hygiene. Obviously you have to have a lot of eyelid hygiene when it comes to putting the lenses in and out, but I was pretty good with that anyway, and nothing seemed to work until I got this. So I'm pretty lucky in the UK. This is a double-edged sword. You're lucky in the UK that it doesn't cost a fortune, but you're also unlucky in that you may be waiting 11 years for someone to tell you about this, and your GP or whoever you see in your eye clinician may not recommend them, in which case you know all you can do is appeal and find someone else until you can find someone that will do it for you. I'm just so glad that it finally happened, but also annoyed it took 11 years. When this first happened, I had red blood cells that entered my eye because my body was trying to fix it. It's not supposed to do that. There's a special word for it, I'll put it down here somewhere. And when they're in your eye, you can't see through them, which had happened on both my eyes. Fortunately, like I said, the right eye recovered. So yeah, I get that maybe a year or two of making sure it's stable, but not 11 years. However, I can see, which is a good thing.